are getting live here. Pull this up. Here we go. Edit this. We are back at it again. In just a minute or two here, I will show off what we've been up to. I guess I streamed a little bit, I streamed a decent amount yesterday, but yesterday evening I did a lot of work off stream. And we will go over, I don't remember exactly everything I did, but we'll certainly go over a good chunk of it. Why is this not running? It's maintenance, that's stupid. Crowbar. Let me grab the crowbar here. Crowbar. Let's get this up and running before we go ahead and take a look at everything. Boom. That's not good to have that down. Oh, we're chugging through. Almost at the stib night. That is maxed out, which is not good. We need a copper upgrade. I did not realize I left this on AFK for the last 8 hours or so. I did not mean to do that, as there are some things that probably were not set up to be going. Let's make sure this is doing it right. Yep. And we'll go over all of our autocrafting stuff in a moment. That's good for now, because we do have a lot of it set up now, which is pretty sweet. There we go. Doesn't look like any of this is at cap. Let's take a quick peek in here and make sure it's not overloaded with stuff that is not being distributed. That's, I don't know why we just picked about that. That should have been, oh, you know what, there's probably something stuck in that chest. That's my best guess. I assume there's something in this chest that we're full of. Sticky resin, yeah. Alright, well that's being filled up now. We might even want to grab a second one of those. I guess we can't even do that. We'll just toss out all this crap here. Not the logic gates. Definitely not the logic gates. Let's grab another upgrade. And make some more of the upgrades, just so they're ready for use down the road. And we're just going to add this now as preventative going forwards. Okay, let's go over what I did off stream yesterday. So yesterday during stream we scaled up cobblestone, which is good for now. The next scale up for this will be infinite cobble. We scaled up sand significantly so that our sifting could keep up, or that our sand could keep up with the sifting demand. And obviously that is working now. We are well in the positive with diamonds. Everything has 3 upgrades, sweet. Yeah, we're chugging along with all of this stuff. It's perfect. And we're making a shit ton of diamonds, which is great. It's mainly all we did over here. And then any other passive I added yesterday was, well, first off, witch water generation, which I don't think we will use for much else. Might add that, probably not. Better way to get slime. We've got a ton of soul sand. I don't think we need like we'll need it in like large chunks. By the looks of it, we're not going to need soul sand in too much demand here. Not that, not that. No, we get oil a different way. Soul sand, dust. Okay, so we might need soul sand. And what did I say soul sand was? From which water? Okay, so we could scale this up so that our witch water is also just... Yeah, we've got more than enough of it, so we'd probably build a third one here for soul sand generation. And that's probably a pretty good idea to do at some point. But for now, I want to just get the siltake. Siltake, smelting this gives us slime balls, which is useful, but then it's also great because we have the sticky resin. And the sticky resin we use to make a lot of different stuff. We can use it to make sticky pistons, so we don't really need slime balls, actually. But the big thing is making glue with it, and then also resin circuit boards, resistors. So there's a lot of uses for this, and it was an important one to get going. So we built 2 of these to make witch water automatically, and then make siltake automatically. And then we are taking siltake, and we are smelting it on its own to get the slime balls, and then we're throwing the slime balls into the blast smelter. You can't just take the siltake and throw it into the blast smelter, because this thing doesn't work well when you're double smelting something. So for like an object that can be like cobblestone, you can smelt cobblestone to stone and stone to smooth stone, right? It doesn't work. It'll just sit there as stone and it won't get smelted again. So we need kind of an intermediary, and we built this guy, this little electric furnace, for that one purpose. I put it here. I don't really know why I put it here. We should cover it up at some point. So that's what we did in the passive side. Trying to think, was there anything else we did in terms of all of this? I moved this under, not a big deal. That doesn't really look like it. And then we come over to, we didn't do anything with our power. All this. I don't think I had any of this set up before stream ended. So I pretty much set up, we've got, I guess this is probably 9 machines, 11 machines, set up all with pattern providers and all powered. So the idea here is that we are given power to all these, and these are all given different recipes that we can craft with. So we got a macerator with a bunch of different dusts that we can make with it. What is this guy? Mixer. So we can make most, not all of the dust we want to make, but a good portion of them. Bender for making any of the plates. We have forming press, which is huge. So we're able to make just the regular patterns for processing cards or chips. Another bender, which we'll need to fill up more. A lathe, which we will need to fill up more, but for making rods. The sky steel rods and the aluminum ones are the big ones that I've seen we're using a lot of right now. We have another macerator. Then we have a laser engraver. Funny enough, this is only actually going to be one. For each lens we have, we're going to be using a different laser engraver, is what I was reading and saw online. We have a cutter. There'll be more in the cutter, but this is for creating the wafers and the ACU chips. I think more chips will go in here, right? The IC, these guys will go in there, yeah. So there's a ton of things to go in here, but I probably want to get lubricant being passively made before I continue scaling that up. We also have our actual chips being made in an ME assembler, which is huge. So this is big because we can now make this whole process for making these chips is automated. And the final step to automating them was just an extractor. So we're able to make this liquid soldering alloy from scratch and make the fluid so that we can make all of these chips, which is huge. Automating that is like one of the biggest things that we need to scale up our AE2 system even further. So I got all of this set up yesterday evening. It took me a couple hours, but it was very important to do. And this is going to really help us get going forwards. And today a lot of the work is still going to be around this and a couple more passives. We're going to go kind of plan out what I would like to do. I think we're going to be streaming for a little while today. And I did the build yesterday. We did all of this. Yeah. So we want passive glue for sure. We want passive liquid rubber. We want, that's kind of a start for the two passive things. Was there any of the other ones I wanted to move over just yet? Going back to our old base briefly. So for right now, that would be these guys. Passive glue is going to be pretty easy. We're just going to be importing sticky resin and storing our glue and storing the rubber pulp. For the liquid rubber, we'll just be importing sulfur and raw rubber pulp and creating that. Only other thing that we kind of need to automate is the making of the rubber plates. I know there's some situations where we need those still. I believe we can use this somehow to get to raw rubber ingots. We'd rather have the plates. From the ingot, we can get to the plate. I swear there was a way to get this. Rubber plate. Yeah, through an extruder with this mold. Okay. So we'd probably need a particular extruder. Oh, we don't even need the ingots. We can just use a liquid rubber and a fluid solidifier. Which is definitely the way to go. So yeah, kind of the rubber and glue stuff is what we want to prioritize today. That'll put us on track for getting close to some automation of our chips. So that's what we want to do there. And then I want to start moving over this rock filtrator and then build the second one. So that's kind of our goal after the passives, two passives, and then we want rock filtrators. One is going to be doing the sand, and one is going to be doing the gravel still. Getting the sand, getting all of this stuff in between set up kind of goes along with that, so I figure it's going to be a pretty big project. And yeah, that's kind of a good start for now, and we can adapt as we go. Again, kind of working with the goal of really minimizing the amount of time I need to be spending over here. Less and less for certain if we're getting there, but getting the rock filtrator set up, the other one is going to let us, with sand, we'll be generating way more surface quartz dust, and we need, this is the one thing we're still kind of at a choke point on for AE2. This is the one resource I think that we don't have a ton of. And then we still definitely need more aluminum. We probably never have enough aluminum. And the rock filtrators kind of help automate that process too, getting more aluminum dust. So that seems like our general plan for where we're going the next little bit. And it all starts with getting an MV centrifuge, a drum, and all of that up and running. So let's go ahead and get to work here. So these logic chips in, we're probably going to need more of those. Oh, never mind, we have 36 of them. I must have made a ton last night. We'll need that. We're going to need an MV centrifuge. This guy might by chance have one. I do. I forget where from, but I just had a feeling I already had one sitting around. Then we're going to want an interface. And we're going to want a storage bus too, so we're going to want a second one of these. See, this is why we make those rods. And I didn't even talk about the EBF. Let's go check out the EBF quickly while that crafts. I don't think it needs to make any more. Yeah, no. So the same thing, we automate our initial EBF recipes. Not all of them, because some of them are going to be passively done. Over here, you know, we've got steel and aluminum being passively done, but some of them I don't think I really need to make passively. And these guys are kind of the current ones we are not making passively. Because sooner or later we're going to be moving on to the next level, like signalum, silicone, like these guys will speed up too as we upgrade in EBF. We don't need a ton of these mono crystallized because one of these makes 16, I think, of what we need. So for now, we don't have them passive. I would like to do an ME requester at some point so that we'll always have a decent amount of these on stock. And that's kind of my solution over doing passive stuff. And this is already almost full. Had it in my mind, there was a few other things we're missing from this, but for now, I think it's good. Cool, so we will go ahead and you can see too that we haven't like added the crafting for, you know, the auto crafting for all this stuff just yet too, and that's coming along bit by bit. Like I should probably automate the crafting of interfaces because we use so many of them, and I totally will soon. But for now, we want to keep our focus on some of the passive stuff as well. We actually need another storage bus, I believe. There we go. We're going to want a drawer. Drawer. We're going to want a copper upgrade. Let's go with 2 of them. A steel drum. These drums I'm falling in love with. Much better than fluid cells and cheaper. We got the centrifuge, we got the signalum, we will maybe need some pipes. And otherwise, I think that is all we'll need for now. Oh, and ME cables. Something else that I would like to automate soon too. There's a million different things to add crafting for, and that's the part. That's kind of a problem. You can get really sucked into just working on like a million different crafting things. And we might need to set up power on this side as well. I'm thinking maybe we start it. We don't have the cables coming down this side yet. I guess we'll start it right in the corner. Yeah, we'll start over in this corner. First off, let's lay down our advanced centrifuge. Kind of get a view for what's going to go on here. Okay, so I'm going to need probably, start with an 8 amp. I think I have one of those crafted already. And then we will go from there. Beautiful, yeah. When I need the 16, I'll add the 16. And I'm going to have to set up the power input stuff too. Bit of a nuisance doing that. But if I'm incorrect, I don't think I need these in the middle anymore. So we're going to test that theory out. So you can just do laser I/O to get across, to get the power in to the converter. So that's where it's going to go. It's going to sit there. Throw that. We're going to do ME cable coming under. Oh, I thought I just started falling. Like that. And then we're just going to grab one laser and maybe a couple of the moving intermediary ones. One of these, and maybe give me like 3 of these. And we're going to want an energy tire too. Cheap. One thing I also need to automate too would be one of those blast smelting for autocrafting, which we can do. Is a little bit tricky, but it's totally doable, and that is on the list of to do as well. Where did I put it? Right here. Okay. Oh, we gotta go in. Just give me 1 second. We're gonna see if this works. I can grab the fucking wrench. Okay, whatever. We'll grab that in a second. And on the wall here, that should be in within range. And with the wrench. See if we have enough. That definitely does. There's this guy. Oh, it totally does. And then energy card into this. This is going to save us a lot on upgrade. Oh, it does. Yeah, okay. That really takes out a lot of worry for our upgrades and stuff. So let's go ahead and build the rest of this. We're going to have power always coming in behind. We'll have the interface underneath. Power coming like this to have the wire cutters, and then we're going to output two things. Can I set different outputs, you think? I always forget if you can do that on this. Okay, yeah, so we can set this side to hopefully be drum, and output that, and then this side to be items, and send it out like that. Is that gonna work? And nope. Just throw an upgrade on that for now. Let's power it, and then we can test to make sure it works. It took me a while to get the outputs working right on, do I have this even in the right quadrant? I do. On the Autocrafting stuff yesterday. But I think I have a good feel for how the machines work now with Autocrafting. Speaking of which, we need a wire mill too as part of our line of different machines. There's a ton of them. Powered, okay. Let's go grab stack of this, and actually we're going to need a storage controller and two drawers, pardon me, because this thing can generate two items. It can generate the plant balls or plant chaff or whatever, which we can use as well, which is nice. Okay, include perfect. So this is actually going to be a storage controller. I don't know, I just canceled that, but this is faster. Let's make ourselves one of those. And one more drawer as well. Need more of this. I fixed up the wood yesterday too. We were having an issue with that. And we did some lag fixing too, but that was on stream still, I believe. Our TPS is looking a little high right now because I haven't reset the world in a sec. Reloaded. We'll go like this, and then something like this. Throw an upgrade on this guy too. Okay, then we'll test our. That's not hooked up yet, and then we need to put our two storage control bus storage buses. Wow, been a long day for me. Underneath. There's our drum. Our ME, our cable here is going to need to move just a little bit. So you need to come out and then go this way, I believe. Get rid of that. And it was on the other side of the machine too, so here. Yeah, a bit funky, but we'll make it work. That should set everything online, yeah, so we don't even need this one. Okay. And now, if we go back and look at our machine, we're not inputting it just yet. Oh, we need to allow inputs. Let's try that again. Definitely some allow, and then we want this to be why isn't this working? So we can just hit it with the good old force it in. Okay. There we go. Now we have the system up and running. Let's make sure things are getting put into the drawers properly. Yep. Plant ball. And the glue is being made. Sweet. Let's go take a peek at our system. Make sure we see glue in it. We see glue. Perfect. What's the aluminum drum is the bigger one? Yeah, so we could make aluminum drums too if we need be. Because we do want a considerable amount of thing is, yeah, I mean, we'll probably be using about an equal amount of glue and rubber, so I'm not too worried. Let's go ahead and cover this. Is there anything we can do with the sticky resin to make blocks by chance? That'd be kind of funny. Not really, eh? We use this to make blocks. We can use raw rubber dust to make blocks. Interesting. Okay, well, that's what we'll do. I got a ton right here. Raw rubber dust. Anything you do with these? Nope. And did that get added to? It did not, interestingly enough. Okay, so that is noted. Oh, is this thing even breakable? The shovel? Okay, well. Yeah, I might need a shovel. I gotta think this through a bit more. Want to be able to see some of that stuff, just be able to check its level. Shovel. That just breaks weirdly slow, kinda. I don't really know. So let's put this white concrete back down here. We'll kind of build around this. Very weird way. Does this need to have one? No. Okay. It just kind of looks like a little dirt pile or something. I like it. And we can get to our dust still, which is big. And our drum. Cool, 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 cool. Okay, next up, we are moving on to liquid rubber. Which we are just making with a chemical reactor, sulfur, and raw rubber pulp. In together gives us liquid rubber. Pretty straightforward. Is it a 1-to-1 ratio? Well, that's one we should probably add. It's a 1-to-9 ratio. Gonna be a little finicky. Potentially, oh no, it should be okay. So we're gonna want a chemical reactor. This guy, advanced chemical reactor, 2 of these. They're almost at the point to be able to automate these fully. And that's going to be huge. Then yeah, so we need to automate these rubber sheets still. Even for like one of these, yeah, rubber sheets are always going to need to be automated. Oh, see, that would be sweet to make too. There's so much stuff we could automate. We need to get like Invar stuff. Yeah, this whole thing needs to be, it's going to be able to incredibly be sped up. Oh, I'm making the chemical bath right now. Fuck. It's alright. We still needed one of these. And we'll need a chemical bath at some point too, so it's fine. So we don't need a lot more than just this. We will need another interface. We will need a storage bus, a drum. That'll be close to it. Formation core, validation core. Sweet, there's 2. We need 1 storage bus. We need a sticky piston. And if you're curious too, we're actually crafting, for now, our crafting automation is going to go down in this two below. So right now we only have one pattern provider with 3 recipes, but this thing is going to speed up or grow incredibly quickly. Okay, so this steel drum. I'll make an aluminum drum. How do I keep on fucking up aluminum? I don't understand that. What, my game, it does this sometimes. Am I just spelling something wrong? Let me see. I don't think I am. Am I just blind? Yeah, I'm just blind. It's right there. Okay. This should be good to go. For rubber passive. I will move this way. So we'll go like that. Interface comes up like that. Power come in the back. Interface. Drum. And that's really all this one is. Storage bus on the drum. I need cables. And this is good because this is almost all we need to automate ME cables and such. Actually, we don't need that there, do we? No, we're fine. What's going in here? I said it's going to be sulfur and raw rubber pulp. Yep. I should be able to accept input from the bottom. Let's power this. There could be an issue too with power. This time I should be able to make it work. It does not like interfacing it because with a pattern provider. It could be because I'm not doing. I wonder if that's the issue. Would an interface like this work better? That could be the issue why it doesn't like these. Still just doesn't want to do it, eh? Well, now it's kind of fucked because I need... Can I... Okay, good. We can make the old one. We'll need the cables. The only issue is too, these cables sometimes cause a bit of lag. Or they slowly cause more lag. Go, it's coming in. And what does this need to be set on? Nothing. Oh, it's doing it. Okay, perfect. There's as long as we can make sure we're getting to a stack and we don't run out of this. And then fluid output. No, fluid output. This way. Beautiful. No byproducts being made either. We are getting straight liquid rubber. I love to see that. Can I smelt this by chance and get like regular rubber? Rubber ingot and sulfur dust. Okay. I'm going to do that just to get the blocks. Where's our alloy smelter? I believe I have one. I still have one at the old base. I don't think I have one set up here just yet. Can we make blocks with this? Totally, okay. A stack might be enough just because we, not a stack of block, but a stack of this. That's kind of 8 blocks. It's a very small little build. Oh. Let's wait for that to craft up for a moment. Oh, this goes through. Never mind, we might not be able to because it chews through. I mean, we could, but I'd rather not. Is there any way we get block out of this? Not really, hey? That's cool. Alright, I don't know what we'll build it out of. We can put a couple blocks there at least. And then maybe add more of the dust around it, or maybe add some sky stone. I don't know. Yeah, this thing will fill up quick too with liquid rubber. We're never going to use a ton of it. Do a couple more in here. Interesting looking block. We can put more of this around, excuse me. Kind of make it connect in some weird way. Interesting. It is what it is. And there we go. That is liquid rubber set up. Let's do more passives added to the list. Really, at the old base, there's only a handful more passives we need moved over. I don't think we need this anymore, right? Were we using it? I mean, you can get liquid rubber from it, but we're getting it in a different way now. And this we were using to get the sheets. We're going to get the sheets through a different way too. Yeah, I don't think this is too much needed anymore, so that'll kind of just always stay there. And then this stuff will need to get moved over. Probably individually though, over time. You know, each one of these are making something different to get to, oh, we don't even have any of it saved up, do we? Not bueno. Because I think I've moved a lot of this away, so that's something that's going to need to get rebuilt. Same with this. Yeah. This kind of whole system will need to get rebuilt because we will need that sodium bisulfate, pensulfate. We can take this though. And what was that one I said we were going to need to, it was sold sand. There happened to be an output bus in that chest. Yeah, not what we wanted though. Excuse me. That's steam, yeah. That's not really being used anymore. Even this thing's not being, a lot of this is no longer being used. Our old alloy smelter. Actually, these guys can all come down to. Having these running will just generate just a little bit of lag. And we don't really want that. The less extra crap we could have that we don't need anymore, better. That's all fine. Yeah, so that's still up, but then otherwise, that's done. We've got distilled water being made. These two need to be moved over, and the processes that go along with that. This is our arc furnace. That's good. That's probably going to be set up for Autocraft. I don't think it needs to be set up for passive. Lubricant gen is going to be done. We'll need drilling fluid. And I can't even tell you what we were doing with all of that. Is that running? I mean, no reason why it shouldn't be running, right? Oh, it's because it's full of oxygen gas, eh? Which is kind of a nice yield they'll be able to store up. Like 256 buckets of oxygen, that's not nothing. Green sapphire dust. An electrolyzer gives us 3. Oh, interesting. Damn. So that's a huge potential passive gen, and it's great for aluminum gen, and then this stuff is big too. We'll still need. I don't think that's supposed to be going in an ore washer. Okay, can. Is it running? Oh, it needs to be on 2. Yeah, there it goes. And over here, oh, this is all done with. We are not using this auto lava gen anymore. So it wasn't even exporting anywhere. It was just here to be here. That can stay. This node is done for. This node is done. This water gen is done. Oh, there goes that aqueous accumulator. Oh, nope. Let's get out of this. Give me some sort of block. What concrete? Get rid of this water with. We're pretty much done generating charcoal too. We were doing it for a minute. Don't really need to anymore. And we're still making wood too, right? I set up this new little system because we disconnected our main laser IO stuff working in this area. But we're still making like 46k wood overnight. It's like huge. And we'll need the saplings still, I think, too. Will be good. This stuff needs to be moved. We need to build one of these. We need one of these. So yeah, there's still stuff to be done. But slow and steady, we are like we can take down that whole rubber processing line too. Let's just do a dump. This is going to be great. That's a whole other one of those, very easily automatable for us now. Item cards, laser IO stuff, fluid cells that we don't really need. Yeah, that's looking good. Like, I don't know if some of that stuff is being stored back in our toms still. Tools are a little bit of a bitch to pull out, but otherwise everything else is still pretty accessible. Is anything overflowing here? No. Like, I can't tell if some of that was just dumped in here. Doesn't really look like it. But like some of those might have been IC. We got a ton of those. That's sweet. Some of it seems like it is, some of it isn't. I can pull out the sticky resin. Then we can also break down this system. We'll leave that because there's still some stuff that might be working here. This was doing the smelting for our slime balls originally. That we have automated now. Is that going somewhere else? No, it's not. Breakable, sweet. Look at those extra cards we get back too. Not that we're using them anymore, but and then this whole processing line is done now. Both of those are not going anywhere else from the looks of it. Break and break. Glue. Is that going anywhere? Nope. Taking this is down is good. Oh shit. That's gonna despawn at some point. Select that machine if possible. There we go. And just drop that stuff. Matter of fact, we can drop all this stuff. We've got so much of it being generated now, it doesn't even matter. Break this, break these cables. Once that despawns, I'd be interested to know what the lag is again. Let's go do a dump. Yeah, so this whole area is something that needs to be addressed. We're going to be moving over the rock filtration. So this is actually a good thing to be focusing on right now. Because this area is getting moved. Dump everything. It's so funny. How is that not full yet? And these guys are still completely empty. I guess we are picking up a lot of repeat things, right? You know, I'm just gonna dump this stuff completely. So it's fully despawned. And we'll take these cables back, thank you. This thing's still up and running. No, it is not anymore. Yeah, so one of the things this thing will, one of them will import gravel, one of them will import sand. We can do even wall sharing with this guy too, right? Yeah, so we'll be able to do some wall sharing. This comes out. Probably because we haven't put any gravel in here is not why it's not running. And we were making our own gravel out of this too, I guess, which we aren't doing anymore. Let's fully dismantle the system, honestly. Get these cables out of here. And it was running off distilled water, so assume that's our input hatch. Yep. Extracting stone dust, which seemed a little bit redundant given that it was in our main system. I don't know where. We were needing stone dust maybe for some, I don't know. It's a later problem. I assume this is importing, yeah. Pouring distilled water. Not doing a single thing with this actual water, was it? Yeah. So we are done with this. Let's grab just some blocks so I don't fuck this up. That's good for now. We're probably just going to take this whole thing down and then start from there and not touch that stuff until it's up and running, just in case this whole system is done. Break this. We're not doing mud anymore. Old news. Leave that IO, we'll break, we'll take the card from it, and we'll break the chest. Take this. Alright, let's run a quick profile TPS. I'm just going to grab some water very briefly. Okay, let's take a look at this lag. This lag is very interesting. See, these guys do add a little bit, and being able to get rid of, you know, just a tad bit will add up over time. But in general, this whole area is pretty solid. And we get a good read of our total lag/force GPS. 11 is not great. But the cool thing is this thing gives me a link to then open, and it'll then tell me what is giving us the most lag. We have a cow somewhere. We have 168 items on the ground. Where exactly that is, I'm not sure. You could be talking about these trees here. Yeah, but 10 is not bad. We would prefer under 10, usually, from what I understand. But then we can just go ahead and turn that off. Yeah, fluid pipes are one of our biggest ones. The cows are up there. Me, myself, I'm 30% of it. Funny enough. Oh, there's an AI viewer crap. Let's report that. Report spam. It's always that same website. Like, how do they not just filter anything for that one word? All of the messages I've gotten been are that one word. And it's like I'm averaging one a stream of those. Pretty outrageous. Let me make sure this. Give me 1 second here. Okay. Oh, it is kind of picking it up. There's a neighbor has a fire alarm that needs battery repair, and it's been weeks now. Okay. Onwards. Still not full? Nope. Getting there though. Very, very close to getting there. Let's do the soul sand, I think, before I move on to the rock filtrator. I mean, I have the stuff to do it now. Without needing to craft it, so might as well, right? That was this, some sort of treated this, and what's the other thing called? Pump deck. We won't need a ton of the infused anymore, but you never know. No, this is going on the floor, actually. I may need an axe for this, aren't I? So there's 2, sweet, 6 of these. So I even have enough to be. And then what? It's just like the next. Yeah, because there's nothing here, right? There is an output bus, but it shouldn't be an issue. Let's see what happens. Let me build it first and figure out the output related stuff. Okay. But will this be the, it might use the same hatch, so it might need a storage controller, we'll see. But we want an input hatch and an output bus, and what was the recipe for this again? input bus too. Input bus, output bus, input hatch. There's an input bus, ULV, hatch. It can be ULV for this stuff. Do I even have the, I do. I did not make a lot of these, we can make these too. Input hatch, input bus, and output bus. There's a chance, a good chance that it's going to come out of this guy, because I believe this is a part of this, so this is going to be input hatch. Oh, you know what? We could take this and make that the input hatch too. That'd be huge. Okay. So if we go, like, take this, just mine it, and we put it here. And then we throw that here. We're going to need a few more fluid pipe. We'll need another drawer, and we'll need drawer controller. Boom, boom. I have the linking tool still, and I just had a few more fluid pipe. Okay, and that's filling up for this too. Doesn't really say. Then we're gonna take this out. There should be a storage controller here, without that being connected. And then this and this. But we don't want that. Oh, because it's full? Yeah, so we're going to need to lock. Let's just do that real quick. Give me one soul sand. We have 16k, but still, you know, can't hurt to have more. One soul sand and tool. Beautiful. And then we're going to need, we have the input bus. I'm going to need an ME interface. Formation, annihilation, and the ME interface. We need more of these. So, oh my god. There we go. Lock, lock. Input bus. Interface. Sand. 2 in. make it soul sand. Except it's not being exported via there. Oh, because it's full. Interesting. Gotta relock these drawers. So we just need a copper upgrade on that, I guess. And we can always put a... I gotta close the window now. These noises are getting a little excessive. Ah, fuck's sake. I'm gonna open one in another room though. Just get it cooler in here. Okay. Much better. So hopefully it is going to be able to take them all. It might need, let's see if this is going down here. Okay, wait. I can't tell if it's going up. Does it need one of these? Do we need to go like this? And storage controller. Pull. Boom. Boom. Where's the linking tool? Did not link it. Okay, what about now? Okay, yeah, it's working. Come on, finish that. Come on, come on, I want to see soul sand getting put in. There we go. Beautiful. Consider soul sand and slip take spores automated, or passively automated. And let's go ahead, break down that rock filtrator, build the second one, and set that up. We might automate the solid machine casing too while we're at it, because I know it's used in a lot of other places. What is that, tempered glass? We got that done. Yeah, I won't worry about the rest of this. And we will be setting these up to be on MV as well. So I'll need 2 MV hatches. Didn't even think about that. No biggie. Oh, I did not mean to break the ore washer. We'll leave that here for now. Everything else can just hang out for a bit. Why can't I make these again right now? I can. Actually, I put bus you can't make right now. Yeah, maybe the liquid polyethylene, which we don't have yet. We're not far off, but we still don't have it. I'm thinking that this area here might be where we start it, because EBFs are going to keep on getting built there for passive ones. Only 2 right now, but that's going to be more than 2. And we're doing some liquid things here so far, so I might keep that theme going with, like, maybe we'll do the sulfate, whatever the fuck's name of the sulfate, pensulfate stuff in this zone, as well as lubricant and drilling fluid. And then maybe we'll leave this over here for rock filtrator and drilling machine or void extractor, whatever the fuck it's called. Like it, I like it. So we will, this is a 3x3, right? 1, 2, 3, yeah. Right here is where we'll build it. We'll build the first one, craft the stuff for the second one, build the second one, set everything up proper, and go from there. Curious how's this looking. Alright, we're making it. Just put in work. Why is that I'm putting in work? Oh, storage bus is in the wrong place now. I thought something seemed fishy. I'm trying to get at this right. There we go. Make sure I pick that up. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Now let's make sure it's putting in work. Yep. Cool. So I want to just add this to the list so I can see the setup for it. Machine casing, firebox casing, machine casing, and outputs, some outputs in the back. Okay. I'm actually going to build it facing this way, I think, instead. Machine casing. Firebox on the sides like that. Was there one there? Yeah. Then it's always 2 tempered glass on each side, like that. We'll need different hatches for certain, we'll need different energy hatches. LV output bus is fine. Maybe we'll do MV output bus and Schwal share it? Does that work? I think that's probably intelligent, right? Or we could do a bunch of wall sharing here, no? If we do MV open, we'll leave output buses probably the same. Oh, because yeah, I think this one needed 2 of them. It gives you 4. So we might make some MV, okay. I think we'll do an LV input hatch in the middle for certain. I don't know what the power sharing is like, if that works. That's something I'm not really clear on. For now, we'll just do 2 MV. We're going to build this first one fully, right? So let's go do we'll do MV energy hatches. I know I'm going to need to make that assembler thing, which we don't have auto-crafted just yet. Don't even have an assembler set up on the line. These things. A fine aluminum wire and magnetic steel. 2 of these. Fine aluminum. We have a ton of it. See, this will be beautiful to have set up for autocrafting too, but there's a lot of it to set up. This is only so much I can do at once. I'm gonna let that craft while I just figure out the fuck I'm gonna have for dinner. I think Wingstop might be the move here tonight. That, and then sweet, there's 10 wings, easy peasy. Cool. Alright, we got those 2 as well, all done. Now we can go make our energy hatches. Toss in these ULVs, LV output bus is the only thing we're keeping. Actually, no, we're not even keeping those. Two of those. This is definitely going to start scaling up our power use again. What's that looking like? Not touched. Half. Okay, so we got some room to work with, still some wiggle room. And we haven't scaled up our last 2 with the full upgrades yet either. So there's going to be an energy hatch here. There's going to be an energy hatch here. We're not going to do that stuff just yet. Input bus was going to go up top. That can be LV input bus. So let's go make 2 of those. That might be able to stay the same. Yeah, that can probably stay the same for now. For scaling purposes, though, let's maybe make one more down the road. autocrafting that would be beautiful. So those are going to come at the top. MV output bus, however, that's a new one. In an assembler, oh yeah, I said we can't. So we need LV output bus. We're going to need 2 of these. Yeah, I figured so. Bus, we need 5 of them, so we can then make 2 of these stupid wooden crates. And then we need 2 of these. And of course, we don't have those. And I'm going to need 2 more of those, of course. Okay. Input bus, and then I input hatch. Give me LV input hatch, and that is going to be shared. Fuck. Of course. Okay, so we can start building up this stuff now that most of the crafting is done for this stuff. Energy hatch there. I said input hatch here. Probably output buses here. Output bus here and that's gonna be this will be the opposite side for this dude. This is a bitch to put down. There's a gravel yet on top. Then just the input bus up top, and then we can build the rest of this, I think. This thing goes in the middle. I assume these come up the side. And I assume it's the firebox on these, machine on these, and then input hatch like that. Yep, structure formed. So we're going to do the exact same thing one more time, except we only need not nearly the same amount of stuff. I think I only need this and a couple of the solid machine casing, but we're going to make sure that we have the entirety for solid machine casing ready to craft. So, solid machine casing. What does it? We can do it in an assembler. This might be a good opportunity to move an assembler over. I don't think I've done that yet, because using tools is not really what we want to do. So, let's go to the old base. We're going to take the assembler. And that means we are going to be setting up a lot of autocrafting. We're going to need a lot of assemblers, I think. I believe that's kind of like, there's a ton of recipes that you can save stuff on now, if you do with assemblers. So there might end up being like our own line of kind of assemblers going on. gonna go there. We're gonna need. I don't know what happened to these chests. No clue. Give me this. Give me a pattern provider. Store that. Give it to me like this. ME cable, and we're gonna need a crafting card, or it's called a circuit card or something. Wanna program circuit card. Gold skystone alloy plate. That craft real quick. Circuit card. Beautiful. Program circuit card. So these allow us to, with the recipes, I'll show you in a second. These, and then boom. For recipes that have like the circuit number in them, what's a good example? Like this, the circuit number, you need to use one of these in the pattern provider. And that should be everything we need to set this up. There are a couple steps to setting these up too. Give it power. Bueno. Put the pattern provider on. Next, we want to set the bottom to be this and that, so we see auto output, auto input from down. Blocking mode, don't push next things, and then smart crafting. Okay. So that's a good start. Let's go. This is all to do solid machine casing. So let's go ahead. Oh, I didn't put the circuit card in either, but we gotta go this right, and this is gonna be yes, and I'm sure there's a lathe. This, I don't know if that's in there yet. No. So we do a recipe for that, a recipe for this, and a recipe for this. And then we're going to go install them, and we'll see how that works. Is this 16A? It is, so I got a long line of these to make, honestly. Even if all these are working at once, I'm not that worried. So these two are going into our assembler. Which one is our lathe? Cutter, laser engraver, macerator, lathe. Let's make that. Let's go give it a shot. Let's say we want 10 of these casing. Oh, we didn't put the programming card in. Put that in. Alright, let's give it another shot. 10 of these. Sweet. And even if we needed to, we have the recipe in there for steel plates too, so it could have made more. This whole setup is so sweet. I love, like, Autocrafting is going to make some things start going by a lot easier for us. What about Firebox? I know I have a lot of it, but if we're on the note, that's stupid easy as well. I need some patterns. Can we make 10? Yep. firebox desperately at the moment. Steel casing. There it is. Made our 10. Rock filtrator. 4 of these. Tin cables always seem to be, and I don't even have a wire mill set up yet either, so that's problematic. I'm gonna have to pick up my food in just a minute or two, maybe a little bit. Send these 2 more stops. Stop. That's a bit annoying. Ooh, close call. Okay, rock filtrator. We needed a few more of these. 2 more of these, right? We were running out of the tin. And iron rods. I'm not going to automate these right now. Though iron rods are not a bad one too. Seems like we've been using a decent amount. Tin wires is wire mill, so we don't have that set up just yet. That might be the last 2 we need. Yeah. Beautiful. That should be all the setup needed to complete the tempered glass, but I had a ton of that crafted already. Yeah, 1400. I made that in advance. That's the arc furnace too. Be useful to have one of them ready to go. So we go like this. Firebox casing here. Oh wait, no. At the firebox casing here and here. Like this. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Solid machine casing, and then firebox, 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 machine, machine, and input. Formed. Why no formed? This one's formed, right? Is this one of the ones you can't have wall shared? Oh, I don't have the Cooper nickel. Cupron nickel, whatever the fuck it's called. One second here. Checking this. Keep that open. Nickel coil. No. Where is it? Here it is. So it's bronze foil, and we could probably put this into our liquid tin alloy. Tin alloy rod. Tin alloy smelter. Okay, this might be an opportunity to add our alloy smelter to the system as well. To make tin alloy, and that's going to be Invar as well, and all the other ones. So I feel like this is a good opportunity for us to automate tin alloy and then the extruder process and throw that into our assembler. So let's go to old base. Let's get our alloy smelter. think we'll need a crafting circuit card for this, but we will still need pattern provider, formation, annihilation, more of these, store only one, boom, boom, boom. That should be good to set up. Okay, then we have to set the imp outputs right. So in this we go this and smart mode. Figuring out stuff that took me a minute last night. And then we just go this and that. Up, down, perfect. Okay. Now we can go ahead and make, what in God's name was I making? Tin alloy? Give me my patterns. Nope. Nope. Tin alloy. Ingot. And that was going to be in an alloy smelter. This is probably the best one to do. Tin and iron. Boom. Okay. And then we also wanted to be able to make liquid tin alloy through an ingot. And that's going to go into our extruder. And then copper nickel, liquid tin. Yep. That's good for now. We will need to go through the rest of that process. At some point, but now we will go and input these. So alloy smelter is going to be this. Oh, no. It's that. Assembler is going to be this. And we want extractor is this. Okay, let's see if that is going to work for us now. We don't have bronze foil, which is wire mill, I believe. Usage. There's a bender. Ooh, I think we have bender. We have another. Okay, so. And bronze too, we can actually set up the alloy smelter for? Yeah, okay. So bronze, alloy smelter, this recipe, and then bronze foil. What do we see in here? Liquidly curvy, curved bronze foil, bender, this one. Okay. No, it's good. Bronze is one of the ones I want Invar done. Brass as well. Cobalt brass maybe. Yeah, we need that for diamond. Okay, this was alloy smelter, so this is this one, and then bender. I almost like having these blocks open so we can directly access them. I think I have two benders, right? Yeah. This one's not full yet, is it? Nope. Beautiful. The wire mill is kind of the last one. I don't even have one of in there yet. Let's try that now. Love it. Yeah, charge our night vision's gonna run out. Alright, I'm gonna have to run in a moment here and grab my food. How is this looking? Tell me it's formed. It's formed. Let's go. MV, MV. Alright, that's at least the building part. Next we'll do the imports. That'll be 2 interfaces, and then we will do the hatch as well, which will be, I think, just distilled water. I don't know, we'll figure it out. But I don't think we'll need more than these 2 for now. And I think we need this as well to get to... The big thing is, for stainless steel, we need to start generating manganese. And manganese comes from one of the things that are being generated by sand in the rock filtrator, from what I understand. We'll figure that out in a bit. But I'll be back in a few minutes. I'm gonna throw a buyout break for a bit. Alright, be back. Alright, you guys, you know what? I might just call it here for a little bit. Maybe it'll spark up again in a little while or so. But I gotta eat my dinner, and this might take a little bit. Yeah, I appreciate people stopping by today. We got these two. I will get this done before I stream again tomorrow. At least this will be hooked up and we'll be outpouring to something. I don't know about further processing, but that's what we're figuring out next. I think these are both going to go out geodes. We'll macerate them. So maybe we'll probably do 8 individual steps. We'll need to figure that out because we've got these could be set up better, but we don't have MV hatches, so we can't really wall share with them just yet. But we will be able to at some point. All right, you guys take it easy. Later.